All right, here we go. The Herd Hierarchy. 10 best teams in the NFL. Let's not waste any time.
Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to college. Number 10.
Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski is my early leader for Coach of the Year. They finally got a smart coach who's a grown-up, very mature. I love what he's doing. They not only lead the NFL in rushing, but they lead the NFL in 10-plus yard rushes, meaning that's a big play rush offense. They'll hit you over the top as well. Baker Mayfield worries me, but he does have multiple touchdowns in each game. I'll probably know more after this weekend against Pittsburgh. But the Browns defense scares me on the back end, but they have forced 12 turnovers this year. Number 1, Baker worries me in big spots, but I got Cleveland number 10. I love their coach. Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, you can't run on them, so it's going to be will versus force this weekend. Cleveland's run game against Pittsburgh's run defense. Their upcoming schedule, Browns and Ravens, will tell me a lot about Pittsburgh. I've still got some doubts. They're only 24th in the NFL yards per play. Big Ben's not making mistakes, 70% completion rate. But the Steelers have beaten teams with a combined record of 3-15-1. They've beaten a bunch of nonsense. And so I have my real doubts this weekend. I got them at 9, one spot ahead of Cleveland. And I'm not sure if I voted on this tomorrow, I'd feel the same. I think it's a toss-up with Cleveland, a little more explosive offensively. Rams, 4-0, but it's against the NFC East. They are beating up on the Giants and the Cowboys. Number 1 in yardage differential. That's a real thing, meaning they are explosive. Their defense has the most sacks this year. That was a real point of contention in the offseason. We're not getting the quarterback. Todd Gurley's gone. They've done a nice job. They got Cam Akers, Henderson. They got nice running backs now. I think it's a real good room to be in. It's a good team going forward. I think there's some limitations if Goff senses pressure. But the reality is Goff has won 2 games for every game he's lost with Sean McVay, and I got the Rams at 8. Tampa Bay have some concerns. Leonard Fournette still banged up. Chris Godwin still out. I would like to see this team when they're healthy against Chicago. They have, they've got their best tight end out for the year. Fournette's gone. Godwin, Mike Evans. Here's the good news. Love Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator. They have the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. And Mike Evans, when he's healthy, he and Brady have a relationship right now. So this is a team that should get better, but I keep them at 7 because they look like garbage against the Bears. You got Brady barking at people, and frankly, their protection wasn't very good. Buffalo Bills, not much to dislike. Josh Allen, they have 30-plus points in each of their last 3 games. I have them this low because coming up, they face Tennessee, the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Seahawks. So I feel like in the next month, I'm really going to get a sense of what they are. I have said this before. I think it's the best young coaching staff in the NFL. This is it. That and the 49ers, best young coaching staff in the NFL. They've done a miraculous job with Josh Allen. But the truth is the next 3-4 games. Patriots. I would take the Patriots with Cam Newton over the Bills this morning if they played. Still the best coach team in the league. Keep your eye on Damian Harris emerging as a star at running back. The second best rushing team after Cleveland. Their defense has allowed 1 rushing touchdown. Again, with Cam, I think they're a nightmare to face. I think they match up with Kansas City very well. You know how Kansas City is sort of Baltimore's kryptonite? Belichick and this team with Cam Newton could possibly be Kansas City's kryptonite. I think they would have beaten them. They run the ball. They've got an emerging star at running back. You can't run on them, and they're the best coach team in the league. The Seahawks. It's mostly I'm voting Russell Wilson 4th. It is a historically pathetic defense. Now, Jamal Adams has been banged up. They do have Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. But if you look at most games, game-winning drives in the first 9 seasons of the NFL, Russell Wilson is first all time. Now, again, they got to go to Buffalo, and they got a game against the Rams on the road. So we'll get a little more clarity. But at this point, they've got playmakers. Russell's a playmaker. Jamal Adams a playmaker. DK Metcalf's a playmaker. Bobby Wagner's a playmaker. They've got flaws, but they've also, when you can get outplayed and win like they did against Minnesota, that speaks well of you. They got outplayed and won. Not a lot of teams in the NFL can say that. Ravens, I like them. I think we're selling too much of our stock. highest yards per carry in the NFL. Again, that's very Cleveland. They not only run the ball, but they'll pop runs. This is an aggressive home run running game. They can pop stuff. They lead in scoring defense. I thought last week Lamar looked a little banged up, so I didn't take a ton from last week's performance. So don't sell your Ravens stock. If you're selling it, I'm buying it. I got him at 3. Kansas City is number 2. Listen, the loss to the Raiders snapped a 13-game winning streak. But I will say this about this team. They can be maddeningly inconsistent, even offensively half to half. They can have bad halves, bad series. They're just not as consistent as I'd like offensively. They don't have a ceiling. I mean, when they're on, lights out. Good night. Thanks for flying United. But they don't get to that point a lot. And I think Andy Reid's concern is, hey, we got to button up some stuff. When we're great, nobody's beating us. But we have some real holes and real droughts, and they did against the Raiders. Green Bay, there's some really interesting numbers here, and he faces Brady this week. But here's some numbers that you can't deny. They're averaging 6.8 yards a play. That is a Vegas number. Vegas loves that. If you're averaging almost 7 yards a play, why are they doing it? The offensive line is ranked number 1 in the NFL. Aaron hasn't thrown a pick. They're not getting penalized. They're not turning the ball over. I think their defense is probably a little better than we give it credit for because Aaron is so fantastic. We pay so much attention to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay's offense that their defenses are rarely bad. I think it's a good, solid defense. Certainly, there's some bad defenses in the NFC. I think Green Bay's the best team right now. Fewest sacks allowed, no interceptions, 7 yards a play, a better defense. Their special teams are reliable. If Devontae Adams is healthy and he's got some injury history, I think it's a Super Bowl winning team.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.